looking at as we get closer to the finale? Don't give us a sense of his arc as we get to the end.
Well, we've already seen him evolve significantly. I mean, the last episode, he, Loeb used Bullock against him to free Arnold Flass, the guy that he had put behind bars. So Loeb orchestrated a betrayal of a partnership, and Jim Harvey ended up, tracking down Loeb's cache of dirt, only to find what really is at its heart is his daughter, who was protected because she killed Loeb's wife. Jim then uses Loeb's daughter against him to get for the good of Gotham in many respects, giving his own partner his dirt back on him so he's free and clear. But this concept of sort of his Machiavellian moves that Jim is now capable of is a real evolution for him. I mean, when you saw him at the beginning of the season, he's a complete, he's almost naive, he's so ball. He is naive, he's so ball. Now he has learned how to play ball. That's only going to continue at the end. At the end of the season, we introduce a new case, the Ogre, a serial killer who targets women, seduces them, tortures them, and kills them. And also targets any loved one of a cop who comes after him. Anytime a cop is taken on the case, a loved one of that cop has been killed. So he's kept himself from being investigated through intimidation. Jim, of course, cannot abide by this. He has to take on the case, only, of course, knowing he will pay a price for that.
So has he morphed to the point where he really believes the end justifies the means?
He's getting dangerously close to that. I wouldn't say he's there yet. I would say the end justifying the means is probably the final journey of Jim at his next long run here, but that's the end point of the journey, I should say. The journey is each step down the spiral staircase into hell, each circle of which compromise, how deep a compromise are you going to make. Right now, he's only threatening Loeb with the exposition of his daughter. Loeb's a terrible guy. He's threatening to use it. He knows Loeb's going to fold. He folds. He got what he wanted. It's not too bad, but it'll get worse.
What is your entry point into the character? I mean, what did you latch on to about Jim that helps you become him?
He's a soldier. In our conception, he served, was decorated, and comes home really for the first time because he was raised outside of Gotham. He left after his father was killed. So he comes back to the city that he really never knew to take on the crusade of his father, who he always imagined was a lion, a hero. He quickly realizes the city is a moral abyss, and his father might not have been the upstanding citizen that he thought he was. So, but the military sense of discipline and sense of mission is, I think, kind of what I gravitated towards when I first, tried to get a hold of the character. Because it makes him incredible. He's the only one in Gotham who has that, right? Everyone else plays ball. Everybody else, do I really need to do my job? Maybe I could get a little extra money on the side. Everybody's kind of sucked into that because how could you not? Jim just has to be distinct in order to be, the guy he is.
Romantically, it seems like he's a heartbeat away from lots of complications.
Yeah.
Can you kind of give a sense of where he's headed in that side?
Well, he and Tompkins are doing pretty well at this point. She's, an ME. She's working alongside him, which has a little bit of, you can feel a little claustrophobic to have your partner right next to you in the office, but they have a shared sense of mission. They really sort of are kindred spirits trying to clean up Gotham, so they're doing pretty well. But Barbara's come back only to find Jim in the arms of someone else. The Ogre and Jim taking on that case, knowing that a loved one of his is going to be targeted, brings the situation to a head. That will have some pretty dire consequences for the people involved.
What was your reaction upon reading the script to the season finale?
I was shocked at how far we went, and it is just jammed. There is just. I'm actually hopefully going to see a cut of it on Wednesday with Danny Cannon, who directed the finale, which was great to get Danny back, who obviously did the pilot and really helped create, along with the production staff, the look and feel of the show. The finale is it's almost chaos. I mean, it's not everybody lives, many people do not emerge, even if they do live whole, let's say, from the experience. There's guns blazing and cars. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy.
It seems like Edward Nygma is really going to be quite the ordeal.
Yeah.
So what is Jim's take on that? And especially because he does know this man. And
I think at this point, Jim's oblivious. I mean, we haven't seen at least him really. I think he's so focused on so many other things. The fact that this fairly unorthodox oddball Emmy is becoming increasingly erratic isn't really registering yet. He's got bigger fish to fry. I think we will get into that. I'm not sure how far the writers want to push that in season 2, but certainly, season 3, season 4, season 5, probably you're going to see an evolution throughout. So even in season 2, you'll start to see that situation kind of evolve. I mean, at some point, Jim has to actually see what's going on with Nygma, and he can't be happy about it when he does.
Got time for one more question. Now that you've kind of finished the journey, tell me, give me like your takeaway from this gig in the first season. What's the whole experience been like?
It's been I think, like maybe all first seasons of all shows, it's an education for everyone involved in the show. Anytime you're trying to create something anew and having 300 people work on it, which we do, you don't know what you're making until you start making it. Once you start making it, you start to adjust to what's working, what isn't working, what could be better, what needs to go away. And that's what we've done. I think, from a super sort of macro level, we made the mistake early on of becoming too procedural in our storylines in the first, say, 6 months. The pilot wasn't, and then all of a sudden we started becoming a little bit more weighted in that direction, and I just don't think it worked. And we also weren't using as many characters from the mythology as we should have. We had villains of the week, but they weren't from the Batman universe. We're not going to do that anymore. We're focused on unspooling villains in multi-episode arcs. The vast majority will be from the mythology, and they will interact with each other. So I think it's a much deeper and more satisfying experience for the fans. So that's the big, macro takeaway. For me, as an actor and the character, I've learned an enormous amount, but it's mainly what I was talking about with the evolution or devolution of the character into a hardened, more seasoned guy.
Thank you for all your questions.
thank you so much.